All right, welcome to another episode of the Canocla Chatter.
I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm Irma.
We just had a great conversation with Valerie Earl, the director of Wellington Chamber.
She talked to us about the Kansas Wheat Fest and all the events she has planned. And Canocla is the 126th Kansas Wheat Fest premier sponsor.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Valerie, thank you so much for joining us today and being on our podcast. Valerie, before we dive into Wheat Fest, we would like to know a little bit about you.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be here. So I'm Valerie Earl, director of the Wellington Chamber. I've been in my role for about 6.5 years. My husband and I are originally from Michigan. We did do a little stint in Oklahoma. So sometimes people say I have an accent. I don't have an accent. Y'all have an accent. We have 3 kids, and we have just made our roots in Wellington, Kansas.
How did you end up with the Wellington Chamber role?
So actually, I was working 3 different jobs, and a friend of mine who was on the board, I asked him about the assistant position that was open, and he said, well, actually, the director position's open. And I said, no, I don't think I want to do that. He's like, no, I think you'd be good for that. And I said, I don't think so. And then he said, well, come in and interview and talk with us. And my husband convinced me, I think mostly so that way he doesn't end up on the board again because it'd be a conflict of interest. But I interviewed and I was given the position. So
what has made you fall in love with the Wellington community?
The people. So we moved here from Edmond, Oklahoma. And I said when we moved here that it felt like our world slowed down. We love the people here and getting involved. We have 0 family here, but I know that if I needed one of my kids to be picked up, it would be 3 phone calls, and I could have somebody pick them up for me.
Yes.
So I love the people here in the community.
Small town family, but making it big.
I was going to say that too. That's probably the best part of being in a small town, having that community and people to call on. Many people know the Chamber because of the Wheat Fest, but but the Chamber works year-round. What does the Chamber actually do behind the scenes that people may not realize?
So every chamber's different. Our chamber, I like to say, is a heavy event chamber. So we have several events that we do and plan. So we're doing that year-round. And we're the chamber and we're the CVB, so Convention and Visitors Bureau or Destination Marketing Organization. So we try to draw tourism and draw people to Wellington. We support our businesses, try to promote, enhance their exposure throughout the community, the region, the state, and just draw, growth for our area. And we're the Wellington Area Chamber of Commerce, so it's not just Wellington. We have members that are in Caldwell, Wichita, Florida. I mean, they're all over, and a lot of them is their businesses that are doing business in our area and want to support the things going on in our communities.
When someone opens a new business in Wellington, how does the Chamber help them succeed?
Support. We want to promote them. We want to support. We want them to be members. So that way we can come out and do a ribbon cutting and try to host an after hours and a walk-in Wednesday and exposure so that people know and learn about them.
All right, the Kansas Wheat Festival has been celebrating Kansas ag since the 1900s, making this the 126th festival. Why do you think this tradition has lasted so long?
It's the people. It's the traditions. It's the, that small town charm, the things that people love about the Wheat Festival, getting together, something to look forward to. It's the biggest event that I think happens in Sumner County each year, and it just keeps going, and it just really holds on to that agricultural history and touches on that. The farmers and people talk about, every year I hear different stories about farmers and the traditions that they've had, and everyone has a connection to wheat. So I think that's just kind of helped it go on.
And it kind of helps because I feel like Wheat Fest, it's kind of like almost, sometimes it doesn't end like this. Like last year we had a bunch of rain, but I feel like it's a kind of a big get-together party, like wheat harvest is done, now let's have Wheat Fest to celebrate kind of thing.
That's how it started. They celebrated a bunker year of crops, and so it was the Sumner County Jubilee, and I think it's had another name. And then officially in 2012, it was established as the Kansas Wheat Festival. It's one of the longest running festivals in the state.
I will say when I first started at Canocla, I think I got voluntold to, you're going to be in the parade. And so I was, but that was the longest parade that I had ever participated in or been in, and it was like 45 minutes to an hour long. And I was like, oh, that seemed short. I said, short? That's the longest parade I've ever been involved in. I mean, I'm from small town America, Anthony, Kansas, and our parades last about 10 minutes. So that was, but that's, I see you, how, you know, you have the Shriners come in, and you have other people from like Belle Plaine and Caldwell and all sorts of other people. So, I mean, your parade is very big and it's magnificent. So
Thank you. Appreciate that. Being from a smaller town, well, a little bigger than Wellington in Michigan, we grew up with the Romeo Peach Festival. And the Peach Festival always happens Labor Day weekend, and their parade is 3.5 hours.
oh, goodness.
So when I came to Wellington, and I love everything that goes with the Wheat Festival, this multi-day event and all the things going on, and took the role as the chamber, I wanted our parade to be longer. I wanted more than a 20-minute parade.
Right.
And so I love that it's growing and is almost an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of the parade since you've been there has been the flyover. I feel like that's something new that you brought since you've been on the chamber.
That's actually one of my favorite parts, too. It's just really, it gives me goosebumps because the parade stops in the middle of the road, and you see the Lions Club with the flag out there, and the flyover and the national anthem. They do a second pass in the missing man formation. It's just, and everything's just quiet, and
Peaceful.
I love it. It's peaceful, and it's touching.
Yes.
What are some of the Wheat Fest traditions?
So, oh gosh, there's so many traditions with the Wheat Festival. I think the different chalking contests, the cow chip toss, the cow patty bingo.
Can you talk about the cow patty bingo a little bit for people who might not know what that is?
Yeah, so it's a fundraiser actually every year that the Wellington High School FFA, they put it on each year, and you buy spots like bingo, and they're numbered spots, and watch and wait for the cows to defecate in your square.
What if it goes into more than one square? Because I know those cows' diets just kind of let it loose.
I know that they have had more than one winner. They've split the pot before. So I guess that would be the best way to, how that works.
Yes, yes.
Because sometimes it happens. So, yeah.
Yes. What about the cow chip?
Cow chip toss, yeah.
Yes. I'm not, that one I'm kind of like, what's that?
So they have cow chips,
Okay.
which manure.
Yes.
And they wear gloves, and you have to fling it into a toilet that we have in the
Nice.
middle of the street. Yeah.
Cleaning up poop in a whole different section.
And so there was a funny story about that. Is there was a year that they were having difficulty because if there's not enough rain, things are too dry. Too much rain, things are too moist. But there was a year that they couldn't get the cow patties together, so we ended up using sticky buns.
Oh, fun.
Which was fine because they were left in the road for the birds to eat later. So.
Yeah. Nice.
Also that night is also the bed races. Can you talk a little bit about the bed races? I feel like being from Wellington, people always come to watch the bed races.
So the bed races are an event that is near and dear to me because, as I mentioned, the Peach Festival, where I grew up, bed races was one of the events that would happen that everybody looked forward to. It was just something unique and fun. So when I took my role as the director in 2019, then 2020 hit. We all know what happened there. The hospital shut down, and the beds were there, and they were removed, auctioned off, or whatever. So there were no beds. So I spent a solid year trying to find 2 beds to bring back and have the bed races because I didn't want that event to go away. And lots of phone calls and emails and talking to people. I did find a closed retirement home that offered that I could have 2 beds. So the city worked with me, and they went and picked them up. One of the businesses worked with me and gave them an overhaul. I was so excited. They're yellow and red. They're pretty. They're fun. And the first year we had them, they were racing them down the road, and a couple of the tires had some difficulty. So I had to end up getting the Gator tractor down there, load them in the back of it, and take them back up to the auditorium. But then we give them another overhaul, and they've been working great since.
Good.
But I love the bed races. I think it's a fun event and something, again, unique and different that you don't see everywhere.
Yeah. Do they do that right on Main Street?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
What does planning look like? And do you really ever get an off season, or does next year's Wheat Fest start as soon as the other one ends?
I would say next year's pretty much starts as soon as the other one ends. We're already looking at music and entertainment lineup things for next year. Sometimes it's looking at our events and seeing like what worked, what didn't work. So we start the button design contest, happens in like February. So we kick right into it and start planning and doing all the things. It is a year round, but we are a staff of 2, so it takes us a long time to plan not only a 5-day festival, but all the other things that we do in the off season.
Yeah. That's a lot to do between the two of you. But I mean, you guys seem to be knowing like between the two of you, like which one can get done to this and this. So you guys work well as a team for sure. So when can like sponsorships start coming in? Like, do you start asking for sponsorships almost like as soon as the Wheat Fest done, or you
like
kind of give a little break a little bit?
I already know who next year's premier sponsor is. So, and I can't tell that yet. It's a surprise.
All right. So I know growing up, I always went and hunted for the medallion with my grandma. So I know that's one of my favorite Wheat Fest things. Can you talk a little bit more about the medallion hunt and how that works?
Yeah. So this year is the 40th annual medallion hunt.
Wow.
So if you buy a button, anytime, once we start selling buttons, you buy a button. Buttons have a number on the back of them. And you get it registered. This year it was registering them at Panhandle Federal Credit Union. And it was by Friday, the Friday before the medallion hunt starts. Then Monday, the medallion hunt starts the week before the Wheat Festival starts. So it's a whole week. And it's a excitement to gear up and get you, thinking about the Wheat Festival and excited for things. And each day a clue is released. And you hunt and try to find this medallion, which I, for years, did not know what it even looked like. It's kind of bigger than a $50, so a little kind of coin thing, and you find it, and it's, if you have a registered button, it's $1,000 prize. If you don't, it's $100 prize. Yeah. Still fun, still great.
Where is the weirdest place that medallion has been hidden?
Oh gosh, I think one of the weirdest that I think of is like one year it was like inside, I think it was like a fast food bag.
I remember that, like over by the high school and McDonald's. Yeah.
How did they know, like, hey, that's not trash, don't touch that? The medallion's in there, don't touch it.
Exactly. I don't know.
Oh, that's so funny.
It could have. So as, we help kind of facilitate things, a lot of things with the Wheat Festival. The medallion hunt is actually for us pretty hands-off. We don't hide it. We don't make the clues. I get the clues sent to me and am able to release them. And I don't even know who all's on the committee that makes the clues. So, and I do love that because when people ask me, well, where's the medallion? I honestly don't know.
I'm not going to tell you, even though, but I don't really know.
Yes.
Festivals are super important for small towns. What kind of impact does that have on local businesses?
I think it's a huge impact. It brings so many visitors to our community. It brings people back to our community. It helps keep those roots of those who've gone away. It means a lot. It's that exposure that those businesses, and we really try with the Wheat Festival, we try to make things as free as possible for people to come and enjoy. It doesn't cost anything to sit and listen to the music. Most of our events are free. It doesn't cost anything to get involved in. And a lot of that is our sponsors, which is our businesses that contribute and make that happen. And there is no way we could do that without our businesses helping us do that.
Yeah.
And the volunteers, we talked about it's a staff of 2. We have a lot that goes on for the Wheat Festival. There's no way that we can, with 2 of us, be everywhere to every event. So it really is important, those sponsors and those volunteers that help be there for us.
How does somebody like that, if they want to volunteer, like, what do they just need to come up to the chamber office, or?
Yes, I will find a way to get you involved.
Yes, awesome.
There's lots of opportunities. Sometimes it's just going and taking some pictures at an event. Sometimes it's, helping us work a table and register buttons. And, there's lots of things to do.
Speaking of registering buttons, so you go to the chamber or to any of the local banks that have buttons for sale, and then you register them at different events, or how does that work?
So when we move past the medallion hunt, so week of the Wheat Festival, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you come find the chamber table. We're at near the stage of all the events. Register your button. You'll get a ticket, and then the other ticket will go into a jar. Pull tickets each night. We've got like 25 different prizes that we're giving out each night. And this isn't like some of it's cash. We've got tickets for Tanganyika, for the zoo, the state fair. So we get a lot of support from a lot of these different fun things that, for people and families to do. And that's what it's about. And then Monday following the Wheat Festival, all of those jars of all those tickets that didn't get drawn for prizes get put into one big drawing for a $500 prize. So
I need a button. How much are they?
$5.
$5.
$5.
Some of these events and stuff, like you said, some are traditional and everything, but have you ever, like here, like the kids cruise, I see that it's new and everything. How new is it? Or some of these, like how do you know that this is a good one for people to be involved in and what's not? Like how long do you think you do? I just went too many questions at once.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so we really do try to highlight in the program the things that are new. So you know if it says new next to it, it's brand new. It's never been done before. At least not like for the Wheat Festival since I've been doing it. So we try to find new events all the time. We try to keep things free for people as much as possible to get involved and do things. And we test it out and see how it goes. We did, years ago, they used to do a paper airplane contest, and it happened inside the Memorial Auditorium, which was probably a good idea. We were trying to keep things going outside with a lot of events on Saturday, so for a few years, we did a paper airplane contest outside, and it became somewhat difficult because I don't know if you know this, but the Kansas winds are very unpredictable.
Yes. The weather, for sure, is just unpredictable all year round.
So we transitioned last year. We did the kite event. It wasn't really a contest. You got to go and build a kite using Wellington Daily News newspapers, and it was fun. And I this is where I reach out to our sponsors and volunteers. I ask, what was that like? How did you feel it went and everything? And like that event, it was fun. It was something different, unique, kind of a little bit labor intensive for people to stand there and make a kite. Little kids, they're not going to be making a lot of their own kites. So mom and dad or whoever needs to help them out. So we transitioned that event, and this year we're doing a duck dash. So kids will be able to come up. Actually, it's for all ages. You can come up, pick out a rubber ducky. They're all different. And with anybody else, you'll race your duck. Canocla has kindly supplied some water squirters. So to race your duck, you have to push it along with water.
Oh, cool.
And then
Okay.
if your duck wins, you get to keep it.
Yay!
That is fun.
That is awesome.
I'm excited about the farmers market.
Yes, for
coming
sure.
this year.
Border Queen Harvest Hub is hosting a farmer's market, so a good spot to get your tomatoes and eggs and things
Local
like that.
Things,
Yeah.
I know you have food vendors and food trucks that come for Wheat Fest. What is your favorite Wheat Fest food that comes?
One of the things, well, a couple of them. I can't just pick one.
Never. Not for a festival.
No.
You have to have more
no.
than one.
A couple of the things that I do look forward to, GD4 brings shaved ice. That's just kind of a staple, I think, especially of the Wheat Festival. People look for that red trailer on the corner. Another one of my favorites, really healthy, it's the fried cheese on a stick.
Oh, no, that sounds like up my alley for sure.
Yeah, I think my favorite carnival food is the funnel cakes and the corn.
Ooh, the corn's good.
Yeah.
I always look for the long corn dog, deep fried corn dog with mustard. That's what I look forward to. I don't know why, but it's just it's a different taste when you're at the fair or a festival or
Yep.
For sure.
it's just different.
Fair calories don't count.
Nope.
And cheesy fries. I mean, I know you can get cheesy fries in restaurants and stuff, but when you're standing there and you're holding that paper container,
Burning your hands
and the grease is going through. I mean, yeah.
That's it. Let's go back to this parade, though. I want to know your best memory of the parade.
Oh, I do love the flyover. I love seeing when the businesses and the organizations participate. And I don't mean like fill out your form and line up and go down the street. I mean like participate. The future grows here. That's our theme this year. So seeing the different creativeness that they put together to represent that. That's probably my favorite part because I'm like, I would have never thought of that on so many of them. And it's just fun and unique. I do also, the parade, like the traditions of the parade, having, when we can scrounge up and have some band members from the high school, when we can get, when you see the cheerleaders walk down the road and just some of those things that are just parade regular things.
Mm-hmm. I think one of my favorite of the parade recently since I've started at Canocle is like doing the parade with my kids because like they're excited to throw out candy to their friends and the people they go to school with. And yeah, getting to see what candy's good. They always help me pick out what candy we should throw out in the parade.
And it's fun because it's a change of like, they've been on the side
Yeah.
getting the candy and now they have that joy, like they want to.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm bringing my kids in our wagon.
Yep.
Both of them.
My son loves being in the parade and just handing out stuff too.
Team bed race or cow chip toss?
Bed races.
What one word would you describe as for the Wheat Fest?
The Kansas Wheat Festival, I would say the word I would describe is family. And not just like those blood related. Like I said, I have no blood related family here except for my husband and my kids, but it's family. Everybody here is family. You know somebody as you're walking down, the main street, as you're standing there listening to music, standing in line for a funnel cake. You see everybody come out, and I just love it because it just feels like family and community and everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it is. That's what it's about, making those memories.
Valerie, when does this festival officially start? Besides the medallion hunt, actual Wheat Fest.
Great question. So traditionally, I'll say, because that's an easy question, but traditionally the Wheat Festival is the second week of July. So this year, the Wheat Festival starts on Tuesday, July 7th. And that will start with the Downtown Art Exhibit, which is for chamber members, artists, and their families. We have a reception there. The big public kickoff is the picnic in the park, July 8th, 6 o'clock, Sellers Park. And then everything runs through, we still have things going on Sunday. So 7th through 11th is what we say, but things still run on Sunday the 12th. You can find information, the whole schedule of events, all of our entry forms and flyers on our website, wellingtonKSChamber.com, or stop in and see us at the chamber office. We're at 208 North Washington. It's the big Memorial Auditorium building. We're lucky we're upstairs from it, second floor, right in the front though.
All right. Thank you, Val, for coming and being one of our guests. I know how much work goes into being the chamber director and helping with Wheat Fest as a former chamber board member. So I appreciate you. And Morgan.
Thank you so much for meeting with us. And we hope you have I know you're going to have a wonderful turnout and everything because, again, like you said, family comes in for that weekend. They make a plan to come back to make sure their vacation's that week. And so I just wish you guys all the best.
Thank you. Yeah, I always say that Wheat Festival is like Christmas. You plan for it.
Yes, yes, exactly. Well, awesome. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.